Hi, this is Andy Walter and my daughter Steph.
I can talk for myself though.
Can you? Oh, well, I'll let you speak. My daughter Steph here said to myself and my wife, do you want to go down to Shelly Beach? Because I'm going down on a little bit of a hunt for these white sticks for my friend Colleen, who's wondering where all these white sticks are coming from. So I said, sure, Steph, and off we went.
As soon as we got onto the beach, I noticed these tiny little white plastic pellets, which turned out to be Nurdles. I'd never collected a Nurdle before, so I wasn't entirely sure if it was a Nurdle, but there was just so many of them. Literally the first step to when we got to the tide line, I could see Nurdles, probably about 2/3 of a metre wide along the tide line, and we found out as we walked along,
yes,
it was the entire stretch of Shelly Beach.
It was a bit like a lace curtain. Someone had dropped a lace curtain along the tide line. So he got down on their hands and knees and thought, what are these things? And picked a few up, and they're nothing natural. I thought, oh, what could they be? Something from the ocean? But they weren't something from the ocean.
And I was scooping them up with the side of my hand, like it wasn't like one here and one there. I was like using my hand like a broom.
The last high tide where the Nurdles were was only probably halfway up the beach. It certainly wasn't a high tide or anything.
Yeah, they were in the new tide line.
Yeah.
You know, they weren't, closest to the water's edge is where we found them.
There were other tide marks higher up that we found the Nurdles. I think there was probably a couple of higher tide marks, but no Nurdles on those higher tide marks.
Yeah.
Only on the most recent, and it was a bit lower tide.
You had no problem seeing the tide line off in the distance either, because it was, it was a white colour from the Nurdles.
A trail of white lace up the beach, at the tide line. Mm.
Yeah, and I remember thinking, gee, this looks like it's going to take 2 or 3 months to clean them all off the beach. And I don't know how long it's been. It was in mid-November when I found them, and it's now April. And we're still picking them up.
It makes you realise that we really should be a bit more responsible for what we put into the water and what we use, because in the news these days, plastic pollution in the ocean's a huge thing, and it's just crazy. In Warrnambool, we're lucky to have a fairly, reasonably pristine environment, but one little town like ours can cause so much damage. You just wonder what's going on elsewhere.